What is up, YouTube, and welcome to this. Yep, it's over. Snowpiercer Season 3 has ended with Episode 10, and oh boy, was this an exciting, fun, and action-packed episode. And this was very much the sorbet after this course to set us up for the next course, which is going to be absolutely wild, and we are far removed from the whole thing with Wilford, the battle, and everything. We're moving towards a new Eden. Well, we open with Melanie talking how she sacrificed her bond with Alex many times, and she feels she needs to be the monster again, as the Brakeman prepare for a war, as each faction also prepares, with Wilford securing the night car, which makes sense considering it was his baby. After her attempted redemption with Bess, Audrey is back here with the rest of Wilford's crew, and he's decided to set up shop in between the other two factions, and even has a resurrected Boki, which I did not actually expect. I did not expect Boki to come back. But, well, here he is, as Melanie and Ruth discuss Melanie throwing the spanner in the works. They worked so long to protect her science, but Melanie didn't want them to suddenly go off and do things at a whim. She just wanted to have a hope in the future. She didn't want to leave this train straight away. But of course, she hasn't lived on the train and the rest of the tale who want to leave. I can't help but think that this would have been a much more interesting season had all of this happened much earlier, as Aisha was absolutely a beyond waste of time, and I think that having this earlier and having the whole season be this might have been a bit more interesting, as Layton asks the tale for support. His rationale is that they've suffered under Melanie, they've suffered under Wilford, so they might as well go back to the train, as they're going to suffer under the train's status quo under Melanie or Wilford, whoever comes out on top. Roach comes in and asks if there's, anyone who wants to leave the night car, and Oz leaves, but was yeeted out by Boki. I can tell that Audrey did want to leave deep down, and LJ should have expected that, to be honest, with her husband. Alex is also so angry she's still in her clothes from the night before, and she asks her mum to broker peace, as this might be the final war to end all wars, as there is a parlay as well. She accepts most risks. She wanted to kind of do things and leave the train, but not accept the risks that it had. The lines are drawn, and the tale, just like Season 1, rush the train and to get to the engine. It's kind of sad seeing Havi and Ben arguing, and weirdly Zara acts weird and leaves her kid with Ben, as she's just the worst character, man, honestly. Oz informs Beth and Layton about what's going on in the night car, and Audrey acts like a D-bag once more, but it's clear she is acting. Melanie doesn't have the pull anymore, as Roach won't fight this war, as well he will always protect the train people, regardless of sides, just like Ruth will. With Wilford's news spreading, and Wilford wants to stand defiant against the forces of this. And this is the most exciting the show has been since the last seasons, and Alex has sided with Melanie, which to be honest did kind of surprise me. Both Layton and Melanie reach some sort of accord, and Melanie refuses battle for Wilford, and he suggests using the child, which is very dark and something Wilford has done before, and as he says, it's a proven tactic. But Layton was far too smart to let this happen, and struck first, leading Ruth to face down Mr. X from Resident Evil 2. They kind of all knew what was going on with Liana as well, so at least she is now kept safe, and Wilford is forced into the little carriage thing Melanie stayed in, and I'm shocked they won't just kill him, but let him head out into the world and have to be put under. The train will now split, with Melanie having to carry half as they were and the rest off to New Eden. I mean, why didn't they just do this in the first place? At least the train has moved above the war, and in another storyline wasted almost, we see Bess and Audrey split up, but they get back together. And Ben and Melanie do get back together as well, and we see Layton and Josie finally stay together. Oz is leaving the train as he finally kicks LJ to the curb. She's a hangover from season 1, which has stayed around for far too long, but she is gone, just like Wilford. We are thankfully moving on. The train leaves, and, well, that is that. New Eden suffers a very hellish journey, but they get to New Eden. What they expected, the science was sound, and that is that. They are able to survive. But 3 months later, we see a rocket fly up while Melanie watches it. It's unclear what that is going to be. I did think it might have been one of those like balloon things that they had in season 2, maybe. But we've also as well got Clark Gregg, who you may remember is Agent Coulson from the MCU and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and we're also getting new showrunners. So it's unclear yet where this is going to go, but I think things may have not gone so peachy in New Eden. While it may be rising, the temperature that is, well, so may be the tensions. But this was, unfortunately, a boring and middling season, which was a total shame because this episode proved that this show can be really, really good when it is left to be good, when we have exciting things. But hey, that's that. But that is it for this video. Please drop a like down below to subscribe with notifications on, and I'll see you soon, and goodbye.